This is another episode of Standup Comedy, your host and MC, celebrating 40-plus years on the fringe of show business. Stories, interviews, and comedy sets from the famous and not so famous. Here's your host and MC, Scott Edwards.
Hi, and welcome to this week's show. We have another fun bit of stand-up comedy for you. You may have heard a couple weeks ago, if you're a regular listener, we had shared some great stand-up material from a 1983 New Year's Eve show that had Lois Bromfield and Yakov Smirnoff. Well, what's fascinating about that is even though they're both terrific headliners, Lois was the opening act in 1983. Yakov Smirnoff, famous Russian comic, was the feature, and the headliner, road famous John Fox. That's right, John Fox, one of the little bit dirty but funniest road comics ever to work the comedy circuit. You've heard him a lot on this podcast. Well, we have another treat for you. So from that same 1983 New Year's show, here comes some live comedy by John Fox from that same show. Now, wait a minute. There's more than that to this episode. We also have a terrific radio promotion done by Y92's Paul and Phil. You'll remember them as the answer guys on the Discovery Channel, and also they were like top DJs in Sacramento on Y92 for many, many years, and we worked very closely together, and they did this terrific promotion for the club, and I'm going to play that, and then we'll segue into John Fox. And after John's set, we have a terrific promo done by Paul and Phil again, only this one's for the Magic Hat Bar. This was a terrific pre- and post-show location for entertainers and audience members to get together and meet, do autographs, take pictures. It was a lot of fun. And it was called the Magic Hat because I had roaming magicians that would go around and entertain at each table doing close-up magic. It was a lot of fun. It was a terrific little bar. It lasted about 10 years, but this was a promo from back in the early 80s that Paul and Phil from Y92 did for radio. All right, enough explanation. Let's jump into the show. Here comes the first promo by Paul and Phil from Y92. Enjoy.
Reason number 26 why you should be at Laughs Unlimited, Sacramento's only all-comedy nightclub.
Interesting article. You know, laughter helps you live longer?
No.
In fact, people who laugh live up to 25 years longer than people who don't.
Let me see this.
Hey, it's right here in the Midnight Star, next to the sardine and banana diet.
That doesn't mean anything.
Hey, it says here laughter's better than a bone marrow transplant. Cures arthritis, herpes, acquired immunity.
Come on, you don't believe that.
Hey, what? Look at guys like George Burns, Bob Hope, Gandhi. Did they laugh?
Yeah.
Well then, hey, what do you got to lose?
Cures herpes, huh? Add years to your life with laughter from Laughs Unlimited in Firehouse Alley, Old Sacramento. There's no healthier way to enjoy top-notch comics from around the world than live and on stage at Sacramento's only all-comedy showroom. Laughs Unlimited. Call 446-5905 for information and reservations. That's 446-5905.
You can hear why we did a lot of work with Paul and Phil. They were terrific radio hosts and very good friends to Laughs Unlimited, and I always appreciated working with them. All right, as I promised, here's some great stand-up comedy by one of the best road comics ever. He did some TV, but he's a little edgy, as you're about to hear. And this is a New Year's show, so it's a little spicy, but I think you'll enjoy it. Very funny road comic, famous coast to coast. Sadly, we lost him to cancer a few years ago, but a terrific entertainer and very, very funny. Ladies and gentlemen, John Fox, live on stage.
Yeah, he's on Showtime. He's also Comedian of the Year in L.A. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice round of applause? John Fox. Let's hear it for John Fox. How about Amber Scott Edwards? He's working a little hard for you for tonight. You may recognize Scott. He was the poster child for last year's syphilis drive. That was Scott there. So you guys obviously sound in a good mood. How are you doing? It's blind dates are a bitch, aren't they? Okay, buddy, if I want to hear from an asshole, I'll fart, all right? So This guy over here's got 3 girls. What are you, John Holmes or something? You know who John Holmes is? This lady, he's my idol. John Holmes is the guy with the 14-inch front that takes off his pants. It's like a human tripod, this guy. So he gets a hard-on and needs a blood transfusion. I can't understand what a guy wants with a 14-inch dick. I'm happy with the 12 I got, I'll tell you. Now, I heard John Holmes has herpes. And I figure if anybody's got them, he deserves them. It's probably the fucker that invented them. You think about it, you never heard of herpes 10 years ago. I think Leonard Nimoy ought to go in search of. In search of the first herp. Found eating at Sambo's. You ever eat at Sambo's? No matter what you order at Sambo's, you're going to get pancakes. Can I have a salad with $1,000 dressing? Do you want pancakes with it? Sambo's is being bought by Denny's now. Did you hear that? And they're changing the name because let's face it, Sambo's is a racial slur. So they're going to reopen as Denbo's. People always write on bathroom walls at Sambo's and Denny's, don't they? Now, I never wrote on bathroom walls. One time I did. I was a kid. I was drunk. I was at a party. I'm sorry. I apologize. It'll never happen again. I'm in the bathroom. I've had a couple of drinks, smoked a little pot. I'm feeling pretty good. No one can see me now. Pull out the old felt marker right on the wall. Mary. Whoa, Mary. Give some pretty good head. Then I realized I was in my own house. Explain that one to your mom and dad, all right? Especially when your sister's name is Mary. Went golfing today. Had a terrible game. Best 2 balls I hit was when I stepped on a rake. And I smacked him a mile, too. It was like, boom! All the way to Sambo. Do you want pancakes with these things? I'm a very clean human being. I want you people to know that from the beginning, that I'm a very clean human being. My dishes are done, my carpet's vacuumed, and my windows look good. Now, I don't know how this happened, but it did. Somehow, my neighborhood became infested with rats. I'm not talking about your white, sissy, experimental kind of rats. I'm talking about your Hell's Angel, fuck you kind of rats. Kind with tattoos in their arm just says, eat shit. Somehow, in the middle of the night, 2 of these rats busted into my house and gangbanged my cat. I got 3 dozen crats I can't get rid of. They're cute, but they have these long fucking tails. You stand in front of Thrifty and try and give these things away. Do you want pancakes with those things? Now, I like animals. In fact, last week I went to the zoo. Have you gone to the zoo lately? Have you noticed when you go to the zoo, an American zoo, the animals there have lost their killer instinct? Polar bear has a look on his face like, hey, it beats Alaska. Eat a couple marshmallows, wave to a couple kids, call it a day. Got the penguin, he's all depressed, huh? All dressed up, nowhere to go. Then you got the snake. He gets no respect at all, does he? The snake is like the Rodney Dangerfield of the zoo, isn't he? He's sitting there, I'll tell you, what are you kidding? Huh? It's not easy being a snake, you know. The monkey took one look at me, he quit touching himself, I'll tell you. Did you guys have a good Christmas? My mom got married on Christmas Day, remarried. I got her a negligee from Fredericks of Hollywood. See, that's a perfect name for a negligee store, Fredericks of Hollywood. It wouldn't work if it was Fredericks of Bakersfield, would it? You pull up, there's a bunch of tractors parked out front. Bunch of farmers in there. You got something in a crotchless overall? How about those edible panties that taste like corn? So I was reading this article the other day talking about this oil they've been finding in Mexico. Turning Mexican farmers into oil tycoons. Which I think is great, but I'm thinking repercussions. I'm thinking driving down the freeway and driving next to a guy with a lowrider Rolls Royce. The license plate holders. My other car is a Chevy. Sitting in that little chain steering wheel singing, we got the oil, we got the oil, and that's all that it takes. We got the oil, so Ernest Gallo, pick your own fucking grapes. See, I love those guys. Because I went to a Catholic school, it's like 90% Chicano. 90% Chicano Catholic schools. Our Lady of the Layered Enchilada. It was a great school. Things took on a different interpretation in the school. Like I remember our school plays. Shakespeare. These guys would walk up, hey friends, hey Romans, and vatos. Lend me your dingle balls. Romeo! Romeo! Where are you? Hey, down there in the butcher. Throw me some toilet paper. I ate it, Sambo's. Do you want pancakes with those things? I'm from Los Angeles. Anybody here from Los Angeles? LA's a nice place to live. If you're a muffler. It's a lot different in Sacramento. You turn on the radio in Sacramento, you get news, weather, and sports, because that's all you need. LA, you turn on the radio, you get news, weather, sports, and an extra bonus called the Surf Report. You've heard the Surf Report on the radio? It's delivered by these kids with an IQ level a grade lower than Bean Dip. These surfers come out, it's like, oh wow, this is Scott in Santa Monica. Where the waves are 3 to 4 feet and they're really radical. So come on down and catch some rays. How are things in Newport? This is Gookie in Newport. Where the waves are 3 to 4 feet and they're almost primo bitchin'. So come on down and catch some rays. How are things in San Francisco? This is Charles from San Francisco. The waves are so gnarly. When it gets this rough, my nipples get real sore. And my balls get real swollen. It just scares me. So why don't you just come on down and catch some rays? Or some Bills, or some Rogers. Surfers are great. Surfers have their own vocabulary. Have you noticed that? I'm not even sure the dictionary can understand these kids. The other day, I looked up the word primo. It said, see bitchin'. You never see black guys surfing, do you? Yeah? No, those are probably seals, man. Black guys don't surf. You can't dribble in the water, motherfucker. I live right at the beach. I've never seen it. If black guys did surf, I'd like to hear a surf report from someplace like Oakland. Hey, baby, this is Tyrone. All the ways out here, about 9-10 feet. I mean, these ways will kick your ass. Mm-hmm. I was out there yesterday like one of these old bleached out white dudes, you know. Fell off my board and lost my radio. Damn. Dan Rather told me that joke. I gotta ask you people a question. Is it me, or have you noticed lately, you go to McDonald's, that every person behind that counter is the manager? And the cooks at these places like, did you want pickles on that burger? Why don't we hold that secret sauce for a while, all right? I used to work at McDonald's, got fired. Fired from McDonald's. Said I needed more pimples. Let's face it, the kids at McDonald's got pimples. I was at McDonald's the other day, kid had a pimple on his forehead so big, he had a tourniquet around his neck. I thought it was a third eyeball up there. I said, whoa, whatever you do, don't smile. Can you see out of that thing or what? You've been on fries a little too long, Kurt. What are you bobbing for him now? Or what? There's some weird people out there. I was at the airport the other day. I saw a guy walking around with a T-shirt that says, I'm with stupid. You seen these shirts? The guy was alone. Didn't bother me till I found out he was my pilot. Pilots scare me. I'm coming from New York 2 weeks ago. Seatbelt light comes on, then the pilot touches it. This is Captain Winslow. As you've noticed, the seatbelt light is on. We're not approaching landing, but it's on for your safety. Say, I cannot hold the steering wheel and my hash pipe at the same time. Did you hear about the guy they found floating on 3 bales of marijuana? 5 miles out in the ocean, they find this guy floating on 3 bales. The Coast Guard finds this guy. They interview him. The guy's crazy. It was a miracle. It was a miracle. I was out there on my boat. It capsized. I thought for sure I was a goner. Then all of a sudden, these 3 bales of marijuana came floating up. Harvard University just got caught giving cocaine to experimental rats. Hear about that? Humane Society found out about it. They're pissed off. Put it through the police hall. University to free all these rats they're giving the cocaine to. Rats came back in 3 days. Said it was too tough on the outside. My next door neighbor lady takes diet pills. You ever take diet pills here? His eyeballs is big. Can hear a mosquito breathe in Kansas. My next door neighbor lady takes diet pills. Says she takes them for extra energy. Went and visited her the other day. She was vacuuming the toast. Gotta keep things neat, honey. I don't think she's gonna lose any weight. She's got an excuse for every day of the week why not to start a diet. But we all do that, huh? We're like, Tuesday? Cut it out. You can't start a diet on Tuesday. The weekend's coming up. This is a thin, conscious world. I don't think it's fair. I think overweight people are just as beautiful as thin people, huh? Maybe not. I'm jogging the other day. I see these 2 people jog by me, slim and trim. They look great. I hate their guts. Keep the rhythm. They're singing this Diet Pepsi song. They're like, and I'm drinking Diet Pepsi, and it shows. Well, I think it's about time overweight people had a theme song, too. Why don't they can sing while they're shopping? In between the aisles when no one's looking. Just feeling good about myself. Candy section, I cleared the shelf. Ate a pizza, drank a milkshake, and it showed. But you're a fine crowd. Isn't it hot in here to you guys? You throw another log on the air conditioner back there. We just got it. How you doing? You look familiar. You ever do this? You ever see somebody you know, you're not sure what their name is? You know their name is either Dick, or Rick, or Nick. You're not sure? You try and bluff your way through the evening and call him Ick. You remind me of my brother. He's an asshole. Comes into my house the other day holding a handful of dog crap and says, "Hey, look what I almost stepped in." He's real ugly as a child. You're a fine looking guy. My brother's real ugly as a child. Moms out here can relate to this. My mom took one look at him when he's born, signed his birth certificate, unknown. It's because she had a problem spelling. Ah! He always goes to pornographic films. You people go to pornographic movies? This guy's got his hands in his lap. Yeah, I go all the time. You know what kind of movie we're talking about, right? Like you gotta be 18 or accompanied by a trench coat to get into something? And let's face it, we're adults, we can talk. It really takes some lowlife, degenerate, sleazeball individuals to even want to see films like these. So like I was in one this morning, and I'm watching this film, very entertaining film, very educational film. The first pornographic movie ever made in 3D. Not a pretty picture. Gotta let your mind wander here, fellas. You know. Some guy had an orgasm and it was like, "Hey, fucker, Jesus." I'm taking these glasses off, man. You can't have all the popcorn. So I'm watching this film. I noticed that the patron sitting in front of me was next to an inflatable doll. I was thoroughly disgusted. I could not believe a man would bring an inflatable doll to a pornographic film. I was so disgusted. I grabbed my sheep and I said, "Honey, let's get the flock out of here." A lot of motels now are offering rated X movies. See, but they advertise closed circuit TV. Which is the title that scares me. Should scare you folks too, I'll tell you what. It's like if I'm watching a movie in room 6, how do I know that I'm not the movie in room 7? I think some of you have thought about this one. Wouldn't it be embarrassing the next day in the parking lot, you're leaving, and go, "Hey, aren't you Bronco Bob?" I didn't recognize you without that bullwhip up your ass. I would like to know who writes these movies. Now there is a sick individual. Because these movies have no plots to them, do they? A lady walks into Kmart to buy a toothbrush and figures, while I'm here, why don't I blow somebody? Never happens when I'm in Kmart. I'd be there right now. Blue light special in our blowjob department. Can't pass up the sale, dear. I got kicked out of Kmart. Kicked out of Kmart. That's worse than being fired from McDonald's. They called me up and they said, "We're sorry, John. But you have insufficient funds to cover these checks." I said, "I know that. If I had enough funds to cover those checks, I would have paid cash. It'd take too many brains to figure that one out, eh? That's why you're working at Kmart, asshole. You ever get these guys like Beneficial Finance call you up pleading for a payment? Now you gotta feel sorry for these guys. These guys are major leaguer pain in the ass. These guys call you up, John, we don't know what we're gonna do. Either we have a payment in here by the 30th, or we just don't know what we're gonna do. Now what is Beneficial Finance worth? A couple $100 zillion? I don't come up with $18.50 by Thursday. He doesn't know what the fuck he's gonna do. I gave him a couple ideas. The guy kept bugging me. I finally told him, I said, listen, friendly Bob, at the end of the month, I put all my bills in a hat and I have a raffle. The ones who get picked get paid. You keep fucking around, you're not even gonna get in the hat next month. The only person with worse credit than me is my brother. He's a financial disaster. Every family has a financial disaster. We voted my brother, he's the winner. My brother needs a cosigner when he pays cash. You call him up, he has an answer phone, a phone mate. You call my brother up and his phone mate goes, okay, this is Tommy, and I'm really sorry about the checks, all right? And don't be sneaking around my house or nothing, because I'm not home. I swear to God. He tries to borrow money from me. He said, John, lend me $100, and I swear to God. I'm thinking, what kind of collateral is this? How often do you see a bank manager behind his desk? And, well, you got no real or personal property here. You swear to God? As long as you don't make me cross my heart, I think we got a deal here, I'll tell you that. That's kid stuff. I got a little kid, little boy. Took my boy the other day to see Snow White. See, because I think a kid should see all the classics. You know, like Gone with the Wind, Ben-Hur, Porky. Who would name their kid Porky? It's like naming your kid Meatloaf or something, you know? A rock and roll star Meatloaf. Now there's a father with a sense of humor, huh? This is my son, Meatloaf. Our daughter, mashed potatoes. And our dog, Bob. Took my little boy to see Snow White. Now, for those of you who have never taken a child to see like a Sunday afternoon matinee, you're all going to do it, some of you probably already have. Let me set the scene for you so the rest of you know what you're in for when the big moment comes, ladies and gentlemen. It's Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m. We're in a station wagon, and we're headed to the mall. We buy our tickets, we take our seats, and we notice that there's 3 billion kids. And 2 dads. And they're both digging jujubes off the bottom of their shoe. Very, very sentimental part of the film, ladies and gentlemen. Snow White is laying there asleep. Music's playing. The dwarves are crying. Little birds are crying. Little squirrels are crying. 2 dads are crying. In comes Prince Charming. Walks up to Snow White, lifts up her head, is just about ready to kiss her and say, for night! And my boy stands up and yells, go for it! Party! He's a good kid, though. He loves his dad. He loves his dad. He got me a watch for my birthday. Cost me $100. Played Little League this year, first year of Little League. One of the kids on the team was into punk baseball. Wore his cleats inside out. But only slide crotch first. You're out and you drop something. 3 little girls on a team. We didn't have girls on a team when I played Little League. Women are getting liberated these days, let's face it. And Sacramento's no exception. In fact, last night after the show, this girl comes up and she says, John, I want to take you home. I figured, hey, it can't be rude. So let me tell you what happened. We went back to her house, ladies and gentlemen. We went there 5 minutes, and she dims the lights. Puts on some soft music. Pours a couple of glasses of wine. I noticed mine's a lot fuller than hers is. She rips off all of her clothes, jumps on the couch, started masturbating with the biggest fucking vibrator I've ever seen. I thought to myself, I said, hey, if I play my cards right, I could be kissing this girl. I like middle-aged women. They're the best. Huh? Middle-aged women? Yeah. 14, 15, 16. Girls you can talk to, you know what I mean? Did you get that Journey album yet, or what? Now, I'm not making fun of women. I think women have got the toughest job in the world, and that's to have babies. That's the toughest job in the world. Let's face it, because if guys had to have babies, there wouldn't be any. It's the truth. Guys are sissies, and then guys that have to have that thing once a month. That'd be a drag, wouldn't it? Vern? I'm not going to be able to haul that lumber for you today. I'm flowing. But you girls aren't all perfect. Tell me this. How come is it on a double date when a woman has to go to the bathroom, boom, they both got to go? Maybe it's magic, I don't know. You never see two guys go together, do you? You never hear like, Chuck, let's go take a piss. See, when guys are in the bathroom together, you know what we're doing, huh, guys? Comparing. That's right, girls. Guys are real assholes. You get 5 guys in the bathroom lined up against the urinal. I don't care if you got the Pope, the President, and 3 Boy Scouts. They're checking it out. I don't like to brag. Boom! But I'm hung like a rhino. You can pound nails with this son, bitch. You kids want to help me ring it out down there? You guys are laughing because you know I'm telling the truth. Now, how come is it you never hear women bragging how big they are? Never see a group of girls at a picnic behind a tree someplace. Ethel! I got the biggest pussy. It's a wonder my guts don't fall out. Herbert lost his Timex up there last week. When it fell out, it was still working. It took a dick and it still kicked it. I think I found a level of this group now. But guys do brag about their things. You ever brag about yours? Got one of those anyways? One of those guys you got to put your finger in your butt for your dick to pop out. Boom! I told you I had one. Now stay. I'll prove it to you. You guys ever read those letters of Penthouse Forum? I write the letters. Now think about it. Does anybody ever write a letter to these people with a normal-sized dick? It's never like, I pulled out my 5-inch penis, and Nancy and I made glorious love. These guys write these letters like there's a wild animal living in their pants. I unleashed my blood-gorging, pulsating hunk of 12-inch love tool and plowed into her honeypot. What the hell is a honeypot? Who's this guy fucking? Yogi Bear? Hey, boo-boo!
Man, I love that guy. He always cracked me up. He always entertained the audiences, and I got some great stories about him that I'll share in another show. That was John Fox live on stage from a New Year's Eve show from 1983. I know you enjoyed that. All right, before we end this week's podcast, I have a little promo done for the Magic Hat Bar, done again by Y92's Paul and Phil. I think you'll enjoy it.
For your listening pleasure, Laughs Unlimited's Magic Hat in Old Sacramento proudly presents the mind-boggling radio magic of the great Lima Beanie Brothers.
Thank you for our first illusion. We will telepathically change the tuner on your radio to another station and back.
Silence, please.
This is the Superstation, the Monster Rocker, rocking 24 hours.
While the great Lima Beanie Brothers prepare for their next radio trick, we've got time to tell you about the Magic Hat, a new kind of nightclub in Old Sacramento featuring live magic nightly.
Yes, magically.
Using only the power of our minds.
We will now adjust your volume. Silence, please, because as the volume gets softer and softer and then louder and louder.
Hey, thank you. Hey, thank you.
The Magic Hat, where there's never a cover charge or drink minimum to watch professional prestidigitation. Sleight of hand and close-up magic table to table at Laughs Unlimited's Magic Hat on 2nd Street in Old Sacramento. Open for lunch and, of course, evening entertainment. Happy hours from 5 to 7. Come, witness a new and different magician every night at the Magic Hat.
Paul and Phil, they always did a great job for me. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us for this week's show. We hope you're enjoying the podcast. Please tell your friends and family, share it all you can, and if you get a chance, rate it. All right, we'll see you next week with another great show. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Stand-Up Comedy, your host and MC. For information on the show, merchandise, and our sponsors, or to send comments to Scott, visit our website at www.standupyourhostandmc.com. Look for more episodes soon and enjoy the world of stand-up comedy. Visit a comedy showroom near you.